We moved to the mountains for peace, not war with a power-hungry HOA president who thought she ran the forest. First, she said our pine cones were too wild. Then our hammock was unauthorized. Next thing we know, she's spying from trees, measuring our lawn chairs with a protractor, and sending drones to scan our roof. But the real breaking point. We came home to find a backhoe in our driveway, ready to tear up our garden wall with a fake emergency order, forged by her. What she didn't know was, my wife used to take down corrupt officials for a living. She pulled out the law, photos, recordings, timestamps, and within days, the sheriff was at our door. And that clipboard queen, banned from the HOA, fined $15,000 and ordered to take a class on personal boundaries. This wasn't just neighborhood drama. This was justice. With receipts. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome videos. My name is Elliot Granger, and 3 months ago, my wife Rebecca and I moved into a peaceful log cabin tucked deep in the woods of Whispering Pines, a gated mountain community where the bears are calm and the Wi-Fi is terrible. I had just retired as a forensic accountant, and we picked this place for its quiet beauty: 3 acres of trees, a bubbling creek, and no city noise or office politics. We were ready for peace, not a war with the HOA, but Mara Densmore, the self-declared queen of the neighborhood, had other plans. She was the HOA president and ruled our street like a tiny dictator, even though our house wasn't under her control due to a legal grandfather clause. She was barely 5 feet tall, but made up for it with loud shoes, a louder voice, and a custom golf cart tricked out with a loudspeaker, fake emergency lights, and what seemed like a police scanner. She patrolled every morning at 7 a.m. sharp, looking for violations with her clipboard and imaginary rulebook. It started smaller, duct tape note on our mailbox, saying, we had too many pine cones and that our chimney smoke was too thick. Then she complained our gravel driveway was too crunchy and our porch lights were aggressively dim. Next thing we knew, she was perched in a tree with binoculars or poking around our compost pile with a selfie stick, muttering about leaf density. Rebecca, a former paralegal who once helped expose a corrupt city councilman, started keeping records, photos, timestamps, everything. Mara cited us for things like illegal birdhouses, hammock naps, and owl noises after 10 p.m. Even though it was a real owl in our tree. One time, she and her bored nephew, her entire landscaping committee, spent 45 minutes arguing about protractors to measure the angle of our lawn chairs, claiming they cast aggressive shadows. We just watched from our legal hammock. But things got serious when we came home one foggy morning and saw a backhoe in our driveway. Mara had forged a fake emergency order and hired contractors to dig up our tiny decorative stone wall around the herb garden, calling it a landslide risk. Rebecca went full legal mode, taking photos, phone calls, taped conversations. She called zoning, environmental, and county offices and filed reports with multiple agencies. The contractors left quickly, sensing trouble. Mara showed up 20 minutes later, shouting about her critical safety project, but Rebecca just smiled and told her to expect phone calls. 2 days later, both an environmental officer and a sheriff arrived. The forged documents were discovered, along with illegal access to land records. Worse for Mara, our property had been built in 1962, long before the HOA existed. We weren't under their rules at all. When asked if we wanted to press charges, Rebecca handed over a color-coded evidence binder titled Queen Mara's Pinecone Coup. The sheriff was impressed. The HOA board held an emergency meeting ironically in Mara's driveway because she had changed the locks on the community hall. They used tiki torches and headlights for lighting, while neighbors gathered and Mara tried to defend herself using a karaoke machine as a mic. She was unanimously suspended. She even tried to vote for herself twice before being told that's not how voting works. She tried to claim the meeting was invalid because of the setting. But a retired judge on the board reminded her she was the one who locked them out. That should have been the end, but the next Saturday at 7 a.m., Mara came storming up to our gate in a ridiculous outfit, her HOA blazer, camo pants, and a plastic sheriff's badge. She'd brought back up 3 confused members of her book club and her poor nephew again. Her golf cart had caution tape, a rotating amber light, and she was yelling about emergency HOA powers. But Rebecca was ready. Wearing her old Navy paralegal suit, she walked calmly to the wrought iron gate and slammed it shut right in Mara's face. The metal clang echoed through the trees like a courtroom gavel. Then she slid a folded piece of paper through the Barzan official court injunction signed by a real judge. Mara looked stunned, holding the paper like it was radioactive. Her golf cart was wedged between 2 tree stumps from a shortcut she tried to take, and her book club friends quietly backed away. Her nephew actually shook our hands and whispered, "Thank you." 2 weeks later, the judge handed down the final ruling. Mara was fined $15,000 for document forgery, trespassing, and misusing HOA authority. She was banned for life from holding any HOA position and ordered to attend a county workshop called Boundaries Are Beautiful: Understanding Personal and Property Limits. In court, she tried to claim her rights were being violated, but her lawyer just shook his head and started packing up. As the bailiff led her away, she gave us one last angry glare, but the damage was done. Our motion lights now play the national anthem, our birdhouses wear little American flags. And peace has finally returned to the Pines. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more HOA whispers.